Hey guys, we're in Seattle, Washington near Rad Power Bikes headquarters getting a first look at the new Rad Power Bikes RadTrike 1. So it's first generation. This thing is really impressive. And apparently people have been asking about trikes for quite a while. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, they're very approachable, they're stable, and they make excellent cargo platforms because they can handle so much load. I think the total weight capacity on this is like 415 pounds. And if you look at this rear basket, it can support up to 60 pounds, and then up front, 30 pounds. Now, all of this is optional. We'll get to that in a second. The bike itself is really custom. Rad does a great job outfitting their products to be, you know, modular and have all these accessories, but the base platform needs to be done right. And I feel like they've done so much right here. Interestingly, it's got like 155 millimeter hub spacing up front, and that's because they're using the same planetary geared hub motor that they use on like their Rad Rover. So 750 watt peak output on this. Very powerful, but very smooth. They have a custom controller that just ramps in smoothly so you don't get your wheels spinning, but you're still getting that climbing power. The top speed on this is limited to 14 miles per hour. And it does have reverse, so that's nice if you're backing up, kind of loading it, or maybe putting it inside. The width on this, it's just narrow enough to fit through a standard door, which is wonderful. And I love that we don't have axles and nuts like sticking out. It feels very smooth. They're actually recessed in there very nicely. Check this out. We got 3 support arms for the fenders, and they're flat. It's not like a wire. And there are 2 bolts on the center one, so it's not like this thing is going to rock forward and backwards. And side to side, I mean, there's a little bit of play, but it's been pretty quiet and just feels sturdier than some of the other trikes that I've seen out there. I love that the top of this is also pretty well protected. I mean, if you were to kick this, or you've got the basket, look at where the controller is positioned right here, and even the center of the frame. The standover height is incredibly low. If you look at these metal plates here, they're about the same height as the top of that aluminum alloy chain cover. And if we look at the center of the bike here, this is actually where the front half mates with the rear half. Rad Power Bikes offers free shipping, and if you get this from them and you aren't near one of their flagship stores or one of their partners that does this like white glove service where they can put accessories and get everything tuned for you, if you assemble this yourself, it's actually pretty simple. They're just these 4 bolts right here, and the bottom bolts, they're a little bit longer. You can loosen this, and then the plate just slides up. So when you imagine you're assembling this, you just sort of put it close, slide it down, and then it's stable, and then you just tighten those bolts. I love that. And look at the quick disconnects on all of the electronic wires down here. Apparently this is all rated, like all the electronics are like IP6X, so it's water and dust protected to some extent. You know, you don't want to drive this deep through water, but it does have fenders. We are in Seattle. This thing is designed to be very durable, and you get a year-long comprehensive warranty and a bunch of shops, and the modularity of it gives me some confidence. Down here you can see this sealed 12-magnet Cadence sensor. It's the same sensor I've seen on some of their other products. Fairly high resolution, and it kicks in pretty quickly. And then these shorter 152 millimeter crank arms. And the reason they do that is because the trike is a little bit closer to the ground. These are 18-inch wheels, so it just brings the whole platform down, very approachable, keeps the weight down. But yeah, you don't want to have like pedal strikes, and so they were very thoughtful. I mean, looking at every single piece of hardware, we've got these plastic extra wide Wellgo pedals that give you good surface area. Up here at the front, we can see this metal torque arm right there, and then 14 millimeter threaded slotted axle that slots into the fork. And we've got torque arms on both sides. I mean, I see e-bikes that don't have any torque arms, so I was really excited to see that. You get an excellent mechanical advantage with the smaller wheel size as well. These are Kenda tires. They're 18 by 2.25, and I believe the bike can support up to 2.75, so you could get a slightly wider, but the width is just going to give you some stability. On a trike, it's sort of already pretty stable. And then a little bit of cushion, just a little bit more air volume depending on the PSI that you inflate them to. 32 hole for all of these, the same tires for all of them. They don't have reflective sidewall stripes, and I don't see like a puncture protection rating, but they seem pretty decent. I mean, you know, Kenda, it's a name brand that I've seen before, and since it's the same tire all around, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape, and it shares some of the weight between 3 wheels instead of just 2. I believe the bike is like 82 pounds. I was actually messing around with it earlier, taking off the battery, taking off the seat, which, you know, it's a little bit heavier. It's got the backrest and everything. And it was liftable. I was actually lifting from the front and kind of tipping it up, imagining loading this into the back of a car. I think if you folded down the handlebar like this, just kind of take this out. Whoop, there we go. Lay it down. And then we were to take off the seat. It's pretty low. You could fit into the back of a Subaru or something if you folded the seats down. And if you really wanted to go nuts, you could, you know, disconnect the middle of the bike and kind of take it back to that unboxing phase. So excited to see that. I've seen some other folding trikes out there, and it's kind of neat, but then you don't want to sacrifice too much strength and like rigidity, especially if you're going to load it up. Back to the seat and the seat post, 27.2 millimeters, very standard diameter on that. You could probably use a suspension seat post because it has standard saddle rails, but the default post is so long, it's 440 millimeters. Most suspension posts are 350 millimeters, and they will add about 3 inches of minimum saddle height. So keep that in mind. And then the seat itself, there's so much adjustability here. So like most saddles, you can slide it forward and back with those rails, single bolt clamp right there, pretty easy to adjust. And then there's also this plate that interfaces with just this part of the saddle, and it can be moved forward or back a little bit, so you're actually changing the clearance between the backrest. If you're someone who's a little bit bigger, you slide it forward, and it's not like you're sitting on the edge of something so much. I've never seen that before. To me, that was really impressive. And we have the backrest, sturdier than a lot of the other ones I've seen. Kind of lean into this a little bit more, and we have some adjustability up and down. While we're back here, I want to show you the rating again, 60 pounds. And we've got this almost like an octagon shape, so you can use their baskets. All of it's modular with some of their other bikes. So maybe you're a family that has a bunch of Rad products, and you can sort of migrate your racks and show you this drivetrain. 42 tooth steel chainring up front, 16 tooth cog in the rear, and then look at that pulley. That's like a tensioner. It can go up and down. It's a sliding horizontal dropout, and there's a chain here, and then there's a chain inside. So this is a jack shaft drivetrain that allows the right wheel to spin as you pedal, but it's kind of a freewheel on the left side. So I was noticing that as I was doing really sharp turns and circles with this thing, they spin freely, kind of like a differential, but maybe a little bit simpler because only the right side is driven as you pedal and as you brake. So keep in mind, if you're slamming on that coaster brake by pedaling backwards, it locks up this right wheel. And then on the front, we have a 180 millimeter mechanical disc brake. I'm going to show you that in a second, but it's kind of interesting. You might get a little bit more wear on this right tire from, you know, pedaling and braking or skidding out. I've seen this before on some other trikes. It seems to work fairly well, and you can maybe rotate the tires. I'm kind of overthinking it a little bit, but I want to be thorough. So here is the brake lever. It's on the left side. We don't have a brake over here. That's sort of the back pedaling. So it's two wheel braking. I love that it has this parking brake interface, very easy to set. Sometimes, you know, you'll have these tiny little levers and you can't get that leverage. I love the circle out here. This is designed so it's not going to scrape you if you bump into it. And it's really easy to set this and then release it. You can see the brake line comes down here. It's mechanical and it's pointed down. So if there's any dust or water, it sort of drains out. It's nice the way that this is set up. Big 180 millimeter rotor, plenty of leverage here. You get an excellent mechanical advantage, almost overkill for the size of the tire, but considering this could be loaded up with cargo or just a larger person, it makes sense. You know, a lot of your stop arm power comes from the front as weight shifts forward. So I think that's great. And there's a motor inhibitor and brake light activation. I'm going to show you that later. I wanted to take off the battery real quick and just kind of show you this. So you unlock it, slide it up. There's the key on the left side. You pull that out when you actually ride. And then there's the charging port. And I want to show you the welcome box that this thing comes with. So lots of good instructions, just very professionally done. 1-800 number. You got someone who's going to help you. They're based in Seattle, so it's not kind of the overseas thing where you're sort of on your own once you get the bike. Really good getting started guide here. Talks about reverse and everything. Again, 14 mile per hour top speed on this, designed to be a little bit more stable. We got our charger with the bright orange. This is a 2-amp charger, fairly lightweight, about 1.5 pounds. And then check this out. You can mount this on your wall and you can slide the charger into it and it'd be all set. Got maybe like a little charging station along with the toolkit. And while we're on the topic of charging, I want to point out that having a removable battery is actually it's kind of a big deal. These lithium ion packs, they're sensitive to extreme heat. And over time, that can degrade the cells a little bit, so you won't get as many full charge cycles. If it's extremely cold, you're gonna temporarily stunt your range. You'll get like half the range. So I tend to like to kind of take off the battery. And when you've got a bike that's as big as this, I can imagine leaving that in your garage, and then you take the battery in to your laundry room or something. You got the charger hanging on the wall. It's a really good setup. So getting this back on the bike, and look at this, 3 bolts, so it's really sturdy. Slide it down, and then take it all the way to on. You can also, by the way, leave it like locked to the frame but off so no one can tamper with it. Appreciate that. Little charging infographic with 10 bars. I love that. It matches their new displays here. So we press the power button, RAD, and then assist level 1, that's sort of where it starts, but we can take it to 0, so the throttle won't be active. We just basically got our lights and then possibly a USB dongle if you get that accessory. And I just love this headlight. It's got the side cutout, so you've got visibility from multiple angles. I think it's 100 lumens. Really, really bright, aimable. I think this is like a heat sink on top, as well as a rear light. It is a little bit low back here, okay? So that's one of the trade-offs, and I'm just loving that it comes with the fenders and that they've got the reflectors on it. You can see the basket and some of these other accessories here. It's not blocked, so I like that. And then I love the brake light activation. So it's gonna be maybe a little bit more visible than if it didn't have that feature. Back here at the display, you can just take a seat here. Whew. 5 levels of assist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I noticed is that even in the highest level, it still accelerates just so smoothly. And I love that they've got the throttle override situation going on, just like their other bikes. So pretend I'm in level 1 or 2, because I'm trying to be efficient. I'm just kind of moseying along, but I need to catch up to a friend or climb up a hill. Well, I can always add power just by using the throttle. So I love that. I'm just gonna ease into it here for a second. Yeah, very, very smooth. Very quiet too. Gonna do that. Make a circle, whoa. Fairly stable, and then the backing up, that's my favorite part. So we'll hold the down arrow for a second, and it gives me a little R, that means reverse. And now, if I twist the throttle, yeah, we got the backup situation. And it's still variable speed, so if you feel like you're getting out of control, you can just ease off a little bit. Control is, you know, it's important when you're dealing with something a little heavier that has a powerful motor, and I definitely feel in control. We got the bell, you can be friendly. I want to go through some of the accessories here. You've got that front basket with the wooden deck, sort of a half bag, a full-size bag. Love that. All of their stuff is highly water resistant, coming from Seattle. We've got a bungee net here with a plastic clip, so they aren't going to scratch up the frame or the tubing. An optional bungee cord up here. It's an orange one. I think that comes in a 3-pack, which is really cool. There's a little optional phone mount, coming back to that USB port that I was talking about. I imagine like having some Christmas lights and like maybe a boombox up front, maybe some Christmas lights in the rear. You can daisy chain those USB outlet things, and so you could have 2 in tandem and really go nuts with this thing, all running off that main battery. And if you needed to, you could get another battery and you could put it in your front basket and take it along. You double your range. I just think that's so much fun. And bottle cages, they didn't forget about that. We've got them mounted to this sort of like in development canopy that you see here. It's got a plexiglass window. It's going to keep you dry, keep the sun off, and it's super, super reflective. I mean, they're really thinking about safety here. I love this thing. We'll see if it makes it to the end product. Again, we're kind of like in the Rad Skunkworks here, getting a first look at this. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like behind the scene, because I know it's kind of fun. And so product designer here, right?
Product manager.
Product manager, product designer,
Yeah.
engineering.
Designer.
Okay,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Trevor, Sarah,
Yep.
It's just been fun talking with you guys. And we were having a conversation as we finished up the review a minute ago. You were saying that past level 1 is designed so like your friend could walk with you. It's like slow enough to...
Yeah, exactly. So if you had a partner, able-bodied partner that it's much easier to take walks together. The pass level settings at 2.7 miles an hour, so it's great walking speed.
How long have you been working on this thing?
Yeah, kickoff was about 3 years ago. So,
wow, 3 years ago. This wow.
Pandemic time, so you know.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes faster, sometimes shorter.
Yeah.
Trevor's adjusting the seat, and I want to call this out again. I love how they've got the big quick release on this, and look at how high this thing goes, man. How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
6'4". Okay, we're gonna get on these trikes, and over here, Sarah was telling me they got these bar mitts for those cold weather days. Oh wow, it's even got a reflective on the side.
Yeah.
So it kind of like wraps around the handlebar and keeps your fingers.
Yeah, it goes over all the stuff, so you can still adjust your pass settings and your headlights.
Really?
And then you don't have to mess with putting gloves on and off and things.
Very
like that.
cool. Is this the pet carrier back here?
This is the large pet carrier, which fits in the large basket back here. So if you want to bring Fido with you,
yeah.
Make sure the doors zip closed, and here she can join you for the ride.
Can you do it up here too? Is it the same? Does it fit in both?
Yeah, the large basket's the same footprint.
Having your pet like where you can look at them and sort of keep tabs. And Sarah, you were saying these bottle cage adapters right now they're connected to the canopy, but you also have a version that's gonna set up for that.
Yeah, we will do.
Nice. Do you want to hop on and race? We only have one building's length worth of speedway. Sweet. Look at the standover. Very nice. Oh, he's ready. Back up. Get racers to the starting line.
You want to go in reverse first.
Oh, he's going reverse. She's creeping up to the line. No cheating. No cheating. 3, 2, 1. Throttle. Oh, she jumped to. Oh boy. Okay, Trevor. I don't know. Was that a tie? I don't know. This is pretty good. Thanks, you guys. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Being able to put your feet on the ground is so important for a lot of people with like stability issues.
Yeah.
And I love that. Okay, so we got a little bit of rain outside, and again, these are kind of secret right now. So I'm just gonna hop on and do some, riding around here. Okay, blast the headlights. And I'm taking it to the highest level of assist, like full power. Watch how smoothly this accelerates. And then you start to get that speed. Oh yeah, braking, working great. I'm gonna do reverse here, so there we go. And you can just feather it nicely, just like that. Or you can actually kind of go fast. Look at that. Oh yeah. And 32 inches wide, maybe like 32 and a half, 33. It's narrow enough to fit through a door. So I'm taking it down to assist level 1. I'm gonna use the throttle just to help me start pedaling, because sometimes there's only one gear on the bike, so it's like, okay, gotta get a turn, and then this is level 1. Very nice. So you're totally in control. Look at that turning radius. I love that. Woo! Okay, level 2. Level 3. Oh my God. There we go. And it's still planted. I mean, sometimes you're on these trikes and they start to tip. This one feels really solid. I'm liking that. Oh, can we fit through? Can we fit through? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna scratch the prototype. Oh yeah, did not expect that to work. We got people like running over here from on the sides. That's awesome. Yay! I was told I can use this like a half pipe. Is that right? Is that no? No? Okay, I'm getting a no. That's awesome, you guys. I mean, we're a little bit limited in here, but I actually feel like this is a good testing environment for the trike because it is a little bit lower speed, and that reverse feature is just like so cool. I think that's about it. For the full written review, check out ElectricBikeReview.com. Measured this thing by hand and got a lot of support from Rad. They're very detail oriented. The level of customer service and care that goes into these, you can tell it's really well thought out. $24.99, whole bunch of accessories. Back at the side I have a compare tool as well, so I have reviewed other trikes. It's been a while, so I think a lot of people are gonna be excited to see this. And there's forums, so you can talk to people and get their opinion on which accessories work well or if there's third-party stuff. I love you guys, ride safe, and we'll see you next time.